What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Trying to give y'all a nice view of that bay behind me. So I'm here in Miami, and I've kind of got a bit of a deeper video for you guys. Today I actually want to talk about this idea that I kind of resonate with and that I've been really leaning into these last couple years, especially now since getting sober and being like 100% sober. Like, I don't drink to cope with anything anymore. When my moods are bad or when I'm like just not in a good mood, I sit and I deal with it. And a lot of times life is just hard to deal with, you know? And I get it. That's why we have addictions. I don't know if it's sugar or alcohol or sex or porn or whatever your coping mechanism is. Like, it's all because we feel uncomfortable emotions that we just don't want to deal with, so we need distractions. Even social media is an addiction. Watching TV is an addiction. Whatever. Like, and we're not here to discriminate. We're here to talk about things. And I think the idea of blind faith is quite beneficial if you choose to adopt it. Now, I don't want this to turn into a religious debate. I don't want this to turn into like some kind of hate video. I don't want it being bashing like Christians versus Muslims, like nothing like that. Nothing but love in the comments. And if you got hate, just click off the video, hold your tongue. Every one of these religious fanatics probably don't watch this video. With that being said, I just want to talk about this idea of blind faith. Because frequently, I don't know about you guys, but I get into these periods or moments in my life where I don't know the answer. And I don't know what's expected to me, and I don't know, whatever it is, my purpose. And things happen, like fucked up things happen, sad things happen, bullshit things happen, depressing things happen. And when those things happen, old me used to turn to the bottle. Give me a shot of whiskey, a beer, a Dos Equis. Let me go out with the bros. Let me drink it off. Let me just not even think about it. Let me just cope in a very negative manner. But since I don't do that anymore, I've had to rely on newfound belief systems and new ways of interpreting the world around me. And one of those is blind faith. And what I mean by blind faith is literally just the blind belief that you will be okay no matter what happens to you. Let me repeat that. The blind belief that you will be okay no matter what happens to you. In the end, everything will be okay. And if it's not okay, well, guess what? It's not the end. You're here watching this video. We've got tomorrow. We've got tonight. Whatever. We've got plenty of times to turn things around for ourselves, to make different decisions, to change the world around us. Even in those moments where we feel so beaten and so down and so hurt and just so messed up, we can have blind faith. This faith in a higher power. Like, I don't know if it's God, I don't know if it's the universe, the Buddha, Allah, Jesus, whatever. I don't even think that matters. When people ask me what do I believe in, I just say I believe, and I leave it at that. Because how can you look around at all of this, just like the beauty of nature, the sun, the stars, the sky, existence in general, and just not believe in more than just yourself? And I like to think of it this way. Like, there's animals out there that have like for example, sharks. Sharks can sense vibrations in the water. They've got that electromagnetic sense. It's like a different sense that humans just don't have. Like radar. And there's also salamanders, blind salamanders, that go through life blind. And they don't understand what vision is. And even if they had a human brain, they would never know what vision was. Because how can something that has never seen understand what vision is, or even make sense of it, or comprehend it? They don't have those senses. Like, we can't understand how a shark feels. We've always had the five senses, your taste, your sight, smell, touch, whatever. So why is it such a crazy idea to believe that there's more out there, like more senses that we can't perceive because we're limited by the five? And that's where blind faith comes in, because I could scour every holy book, every religion, looking for answers, meanings of existence, what's the point, what's all of this? But would I ever really even understand? Like, if there was a higher power and there was a different sense, like, would I even have the senses to interpret that, A blind salamander cannot understand vision because they have no sight. blind earthworms. Like, there's a lot of examples of this, and there's a lot of animals that have less than like the five senses, and they still get by, you know. And it's crazy to actually think about it like that, because when you think about it like that, then it's like, well, I'm only limited into interpreting this world and the world around me by my five senses. There's animals that live in this exact same world with less senses. So why is it unfathomable to believe that in this entire universe of creation, there can't be more senses that we are just unaware of and that we can't actually interpret? Seems pretty crazy, doesn't it? And literally, like, I don't know, that thought alone really helps me go to bed at night, knowing that I won't always know all the answers. I won't always have it all figured out. And that's okay. And it's hard to have peace with that. And then the second thing I want to touch on is why, if you're hesitant to just have blind belief and this blind faith that everything will work out for you and everything will be okay, if you're hesitant to adopt that and believe that for yourself, why would you be hesitant to do that is my question for you. Because like the opposite of that is believing the opposite, that things will not work out for you, that we live in a sad, hopeless, pathetic world and everything sucks and you'll never win and you'll never get the things you want out of life, and then you spiral into apathy and depression and loneliness and anxiety and misery, and then before you know it, you're contemplating suicide. Like, why would you even go down that road when you have the choice? You can believe that everything will work out for you. Even during the tough times, you can cultivate that into a core belief for yourself. And I think just believing, having a blind faith, there's so many good things about it. Like, there's almost like no bad things I can think of from having this blind faith, that just believing in yourself, believing in the universe, believing that things will work out, and just believing that, you know, it's okay to not know everything and to not have the answers for everything. I think that's really cool. And just a little nugget I want to leave with you guys here. I'm not going to make this video too long. I was just walking around the pier here and I was thinking about, you know, sometimes shit sucks and sometimes, you know, life is what it is and things will work out for you, and you live in a world that is not your ideal world yet. But that doesn't mean I can't change things, and that doesn't mean I can't grow, and that doesn't mean I can't learn, and it doesn't mean I can't keep fighting and keep putting in the effort to change my life in the direction where I want my life to go. Sometimes it gets hard, and when it gets hard, that's when I find myself most needing my blind faith, because I don't want to go back to drinking to cope. I don't want to go back to, you know, drugs and alcohol and distractions and media and spending weeks in front of a TV or playing video games because I don't want to think about the reality of my life. Like, no, I'm done with that. So that being said, you still kind of need something, and for me, it's blind faith. I believe that everything will work out for me. Sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I have bad days. That doesn't mean I'm above having bad days. Like, sometimes I still have these doubts. I still have these moments where I just don't really believe in myself. But I keep coming back to this idea of blind faith, and that's why I wanted to talk about it with you guys. If it works for you, I say adopt it. Use my mentality. Take these thoughts for your own. I only see good in believing that things will work out for me. Because if I go the other way, like, then I believe, like, oh, life is fucked, nothing's gonna work out for me, and then I go down this bad rabbit hole of just depression and anxiety, and then just asking myself, well, what's the point of all this? And I just feel like my headspace adopting a blind faith is way more clear, way more at peace, and way more liberating. So give it a shot, guys. I'll see y'all in the next one. I'm out.